Good afternoon and welcome to Middle East AI News Live. Ahlan wa sahlan. This is my weekly Thursday deep dive show. We look at the biggest trends and news and investments in the region and bring in expert guests from technology, business and government to discuss. This is every Thursday at 12 KSA, 1 p.m. UAE, 9 a.m. GMT. And we'll have an interesting guest every week for you. This is my second show on via LinkedIn and YouTube in video format. Some of you may remember my show last year, which was in audio. And so bear with me with any technical difficulties I may face with the new video software, which is still pretty new to me. We've got a fantastic show for you today. And today's show, we're going to be looking at the rise of Intella. Now, you may have recognized the name, as last week Intella announced their 12.5 million Series A raise, and very successful, obviously, and it will power that company to continue delivering great Arabic AI speech technology to the region and scale it across MENA. We're going to be talking about the fundraise itself. We're going to be talking about Intella's Arabic AI speech platform. We're going to be talking about some of the challenges that the Arab world faces in bringing AI with Arabic to businesses and consumers across the region. And then we're going to be talking about the future of conversational AI in Arabic and what Intella's vision is for that and how they see that working across the region. And I'm going to be joined by 𝗏𝗏, who is co-founder and CEO of Intella. So all of that's quite exciting. Really looking forward to talking to 𝗏𝗏 about all of those things. If you're a subscriber to Middle East AI News, then you'll know that I send out a daily update podcast at 6 a.m. every morning with a roundup of the previous 24 hours top AI news headlines from around the region. And there's also today, Thursday mornings, a Middle East AI News email digest and LinkedIn news digest with a roundup of all the week's news. We're making it very easy to get up to speed and up to date in just a couple of minutes every week. So you can find both of those and subscribe to the newsletters and the daily update on MiddleEastAInews.com, www.MiddleEastAInews.com. And then check LinkedIn and also check the website for updates on this show, Thursday Deep Dive, which is every week, 12 noon KSA, 1 p.m. UAE. And they will find also in the LinkedIn post, there's a link to my events list. If you want to get a dedicated email every week about telling you what the event is and giving you the links to join. So that's all there. So moving back to our interviews today, just one moment. Yes, today. So we're going to talk to Intella, which is an Arabic AI speech platform and is developing technology to help Arabic speakers communicate with AI and vice versa. So today's show isn't just about a technology, though. Its speech recognition is actually fundamental to conversational AI. And in the Arab world, we have not always had and still perhaps don't have that killer Arabic speech recognition and the technology to bring that across the whole region. And Intella hopes to do that, and we'll be talking to them about that in a few minutes. Sorry, I'm just completely lost here. Let me start again. So the English, the AI revolution is moving fastest in English. Everybody knows this, and the apps and the features and the new models of AI are brought out in English first. And so we have this huge groundswell of activity and adoption and new tools that are provided by AI all around the world, and most of that is in English. And for other languages, some are quite well served, some are not quite well served. And in our part of the world, the Arabic language has been traditionally less well served from software companies and even from AI companies in the Arabic language, just because most things are developed in English first. And so we're now at a point where the voice technology and and AI speech is becoming pretty important, and AI conversation, talking to your device, talking to your suppliers and your brands and your telephone company and your bank that employ AI voices is becoming more important. And that promise of being able to give instructions to AI very easily via voice rather than via typing is something that we're all looking forward to. But actually to do that in Arabic is a bit more complicated. And the last 2 years, we've seen great efforts made to improve the quality of Arabic chat in AI and the understanding of AI models to converse with Arabic speakers in chat, but we've not seen yet the same kind of progress in voice technology. And voice is where AI is expected to really come into its own, when you can simply give AI and an AI assistant, whether yours or somebody else's, instructions to book you your favorite seat at the cinema, find the best restaurant table in town, etc., buy your weekly groceries. And it's a very easy thing to do. To get there, there's a certain amount of fundamental technology that's required in Arabic in order that it understands. And of course, Arabic is slightly different from some other languages in that we've got the written Arabic, which is modern standard Arabic, and that's significantly different from most of the conversations that go on across the Arab world today in different kinds of dialects and colloquial Arabic. So the bit that's missing and the sort of the vital piece that we need to connect all the dots is to help AI understand that colloquial Arabic and that local dialect, and the local dialects across all of the different countries, in order that we can finally at some point realize that promise of being able to just talk to AI and get it to do stuff for us. So very happy to have 𝗏𝗏 here today to talk about that. First, I'd like to say last year I took a lot of questions during these sessions, and I haven't quite figured that out yet. So you're welcome to try and message me on LinkedIn if you've got a question, but I'm not promising to be able to handle all or any questions today. We'll just see how it goes. So let's dive into today's topic. So we're going to talk with Noor about the state of the Arabic AI ecosystem, the challenges of Arabic AI solutions, Intella's Arabic AI speech platform, the recent fundraise of $12.5 million, which is a vote of confidence in the company and the technology, and I hope much more. So let me just give you a quick introduction to Noor herself, who started a career in banking in Jordan and went on to work as a business strategy consultant and founded Intella in 2021 with a partner who she will mention the name of later. This is an Arabic AI first company, i.e. set up purposefully to develop AI in Arabic for the region. And under her leadership, the Intella platform has achieved 95.7% accuracy in Arabic speech transcription, and that compares favorably, if not surpasses, most of the world's largest AI models. And the company's been expanding. So I think 2023 expanded into Saudi Arabia and established in Riyadh, and now principal offices in Cairo and Riyadh. And as I mentioned before, the new $12.5 million funding. So I'll just bring on Noor now to join us. Good afternoon, Noor.
How are you?
Great, thank you. Good to have you here. Thanks very much for joining us and giving us the opportunity to hear more about your exciting story.
Pleasure is all mine. Thank you for having me, and congrats on having this podcast in video format.
Thank you, thank you. So what I'd like to do before we talk about Intella is just take a step back a little bit and look at the Arabic AI space and what's happened to date in brief. And then what are the major challenges that are holding AI back in the Arab world? And then, where does that leave us today? And how soon do you think we might get to a better place? So there's significant challenges in developing Arabic to start with, even if you talk about the written form, because of lack of resources and data scarcity. And I know that model builders have to invest great amounts of time and usually money in building, assembling and acquiring Arabic data in order to build models that are conversant in text. But the speech AI actually has some other dimensions to it as well. So what are the challenges that you face and that other developers face in the region, and why is that holding us back?
Absolutely. First of all, Carrington, I would just like to start by perhaps defining the opportunity of Arabic AI. So for those who aren't aware, Arabic is the 5th most spoken language globally. It's one of the official 6 UN languages spoken by a population of over 420 million native speakers of the language, and it's the official language of 26 different countries. So leading with that, there's a huge gap between the advancements that are happening globally when it comes to AI models and the Arabic language. In a nutshell, this stems from 3 main regions that you have tapped into. The first one actually being unique phonetics. So Arabic is not like any other language, actually. It has 9 phonetics, to be exact, that don't exist in any other language, which makes voice AI particularly challenging for the Arabic language. The second point is the lack of standardization. Arabic is not one language. It comprises of over 25 different dialects and over 150 subdialects of the language. So standardizing that is very difficult. And last but not least is what you've pointed out, is the lack of dialectal Arabic datasets. Today, we can't find data sets in dialected Arabic. It's very scarce, and as everyone who's into AI knows, data is the building block of any AI models. Without properly labeled and available dialectal data sets, the accuracy of the AI models would still be lagging behind.
Thank you. And there's a difference between the sort of data that you need for training models that are working mainly with text and training models that are working with speech, right? Because there's a lot more text out there that's written in modern standard Arabic.
Absolutely. So as I was saying, Arabic, although it's the 5th most spoken language, or even in text, the online data that you would find for Arabic makes less than 1% of the overall content that is available on the web. So there's a huge gap in that. And even this 1% is, as you were saying, in modern standard Arabic. So imagine the case for dialectal Arabic. The main issue is that modern standard Arabic is the official language. You would usually see it in written format, in press releases. However, it's not the day-to-day colloquial language that is used by native Arabic speakers.
Yeah, and as I understand it, it's quite difficult to get training data as well for colloquial Arabic. Just because a lot of the content that's actually online on the internet, where a lot of this training data comes from for other models and certainly using text and image models, is very anecdotal, doesn't really cover subjects in depth, and has no deep content that you can use for training. Yeah, all of those things. So what is the current state of the market in terms of the demand and also the technology available for Arabic AI speech? Because everybody knows that you can speak to devices in Arabic, as you can speak to them in English. But I often catch my young daughter raising her voice to the devices at home because they don't understand the English. And in Arabic, it's another level of difficulty.
Absolutely. So before I answer your question, I just want to use this opportunity to segue into the importance of data and Intella's starting point, and why did we build a speech-to-text engine to begin with, was the fact that we couldn't find any labeled data sets to train AI models. So this is why we have built a speech-to-text engine, because this was the building block of curating data sets for dialectal Arabic, which we would then use in order to fine-tune and build other AI models. So we adopted an approach of solving the root cause of the problem, which is the lack of data. This is why we've introduced our speech-to-text engine back in 2022. And thankfully, it's been recognized globally as the most accurate speech-to-text engine that is out there. The hidden point behind that was it enabled us to curate data sets so that we can use them for training data. Regarding is the market ready and what is the adoption like? I think MENA is one of the most markets that are ready globally. And it's not a surprise. We have a very young population. We have a very high smartphone penetration rate. And in general, if you take a look at big tech companies, I'll take Apple here as an example. iPhone sales in the GCC are amongst the highest worldwide. And this tells you something. This tells you that this region comprises of early adopters of technology. The issue was never that MENA was not ready. The issue stemmed from the fact that AI was not being built in our region, and technology in general. It was being built in the West, and it was being exported into our region. You mentioned smart home devices and talking into them. This is not new. Siri and Alexa have been around for over a decade now. And most of the people that we know actually installed them in their places, but they fail miserably to understand the Arabic language and the Arabic dialect. In order for you, and my mom was one of those users, by the way. It was the joke of our Friday brunch of my mom interacting with Alexa, which is super intrusive. We are putting technology in our homes that does not understand our mother tongue. And the only way that we could effectively and efficiently use this technology is if we switch to English. So for everyone who thinks AI is inclusive, it's not. AI is very English-based up to this point. This is why the region is ready, but we need more builders and we need technology to adapt in order to fill this gap. It's not the other way around. We shouldn't expect humans or Arabs to let go of their mother tongue in order to access the latest technology. We should be building the latest technology in Arabic and in other languages from the ground up and as a starting point.
Absolutely. So is there a risk then that this region gets left behind because most of the people in the region are not able to use the technology in their own language? And is that real, or is that hyped? Is that to help you and others get nice big fundraisers?
No, it's absolutely real, by the way, with the nice big fundraisers. We started in 2021 before AI in the region was even cool, right? So we had our fair share of upward battles and hills to climb and fight until we were able to get to the point where we are today, where we're in the right market at the right time. So MENA being left behind, if you would have asked me in 2021 or 2022, my answer would have been absolutely, this is a huge risk. We need to start taking actions. However, today I'm super happy and excited to see that nations are adopting AI strategy at its core, right? So it needs an entire ecosystem in order for you to have nations to flourish when it comes to the technology landscape overall. I'm very happy today to see nations investing very heavily in data centers, in building large language models, in making AI more accessible. I'm happy to see startups joining the building game and creating different applications and use cases. Regulations are starting to be formed. So I don't believe that MENA is going to be left behind. I feel like MENA is now shifting towards spearheading the AI market and catering it to our own local needs and our regional needs. It's also worth noting that we're seeing global companies penetrating into MENA and establishing presence into MENA in order to get a piece of that pie. So if this tells us anything, it says that MENA is at a very positive trend and at a very high inflection point.
I think that's nail on the head. That's we are at an inflection point. And to that point, your platform claims 95.7% accuracy in Arabic speech. Are we ready for mainstream? Is this just ready to go? Are we going to see an explosion of Arabic conversational AI across the region?
We are seeing an explosion already. I think voice AI globally is a very hot market right now. If you take a look at the global landscape, and Y Combinator is also an indicator of that, how many companies are they actually accepting into their cohort that are focused on voice AI in particular. And MENA is not an exception to that. Yes, MENA had its own set of challenges, but those challenges now are being solved. And frankly speaking, Carrington, I don't see accuracy as being, it was our first movers advantage for a good 4 years, and we're grateful for that. But I believe moving forward, accuracy will become a commodity. The game is shifting from a game of who is the most accurate into a game of market adoption and building AI applications and use cases and having those adopted by the masses, because the best AI model is not the one that is the most accurate. It is the one that is the most used and adopted by users, because with more adoption, you would get more feedback data. And this is actually where the real moat lies. The real moat lies in the data.
I couldn't agree more. I'd like to go a little bit deeper into the technology that Intella has and what it does to customers and how you built that. But it might be interesting to start with an example, because recently you started a trial with 𝗔𝗂𝗏 in Egypt using voice commerce. And so that would be, I think, a really good illustration if you could tell us more about that.
Absolutely. So 𝗔𝗂𝗏 is the largest e-commerce player in Africa. And this brings me to my point is we truly believe that the real winner is the winner that is able to commercialize and deploy end-to-end use cases to the market. So what we've done is we've done a product reveal with 𝗔𝗂𝗏 a couple of weeks ago in Egypt. And we were enabling for the first time Arabic speakers to order through e-commerce using their voice. Voice is very powerful, and this also helps us double down on inclusion. You have some percentage of the population in Egypt that is illiterate, but this does not mean that they don't have access to smartphones and to technology. So voice is a very powerful tool. What we've done with 𝗔𝗂𝗏 is we introduced 𝗧𝗓, which is Intella's digital human. As a personal shopping assistant, you can interact with her in your local dialects. She responds back in local dialects, and she's able to do product recommendations, add items to cart, and give personal specific recommendations on what item to buy, which items are on sale. It can ask you to deliver to your home address or your office, give you certain user feedback, and so on. So it's an end-to-end experience of using voice or dialectal Arabic chat, what we call 𝗟𝗡𝗙, in order to access or purchase any product on 𝗔𝗂𝗏's platform.
And 𝗔𝗂𝗏 is quite a big operation, isn't it, in Egypt?
It's the largest, actually. It's the largest e-commerce player in Africa and the leading e-commerce player in Egypt. This is why it was super interesting. We never wanted to think small. We are a startup. We're very proud of that. It gives us very healthy DNA. But when it comes to market access and where our technology is being deployed, our focus since day one has been at scale. We've been deploying products to scale, and 𝗔𝗂𝗏 is a great partner to, in fact, illustrate that. So Egypt is the starting point, but then the plan is to expand it throughout Africa.
Cool. So this is a new assistant that you have called 𝗧𝗓.
Yeah.
Can you talk us through what your portfolio is and what you focused on building first and why that's important?
Absolutely. So as I was saying, 𝗂𝗑 is a digital human. We wanted to give her a persona, a character. What specializes 𝗂𝗑, or what differentiates her, is the fact that she is able to converse in different Arabic dialects and very soon sub-dialects. The applications are quite diverse. We're sector agnostic. The way that we've built her, it's basically 3 AI models. You have a small language model that is sector specific, then speech to text and text to speech. We've already seen 𝗂𝗑 with Jumia in the e-commerce. She's making an appearance in the insurance industry very soon. Very proud about this partnership as well. And you can expect to see her in customer service roles, in food tech and the food delivery companies, and in picking up call center calls and initiating any booking on behalf of users. We only launched her in June of this year, and what we are working on till the end of year and moving forward is expanding on the dialects that she can master and the use cases where she will be integrated. So far, 𝗂𝗑 is available in Egyptian and in Saudi. Very soon, we're going to have her in Jordanian, Kuwaiti, Omani, and other accents as well.
Great, great. So if I'm a large service organization and I want to provide more conversational AI in Arabic for customer experience, so let's say, where do you come in? Do you provide that whole solution for me to do that, or do you work with other companies to implement? Where does your platform sit, and what does it consist of from a sort of hardware and software point of view and implementation?
Absolutely. So I mentioned some quite tough industries to crack, like insurance as an example. We also cater for governmental entities and the banking sector. So when it comes to deployment, we are able to deploy both on cloud and on premise. We own our tech stack end to end. So deploying on premise is an option that we've been using and we've been seeing great demand for, actually, specifically from sectors that have very rigid data regulations when it comes to data residency and where is the data being processed when it comes to that. So this was our take on it, that we're focused on deployment. So we need to be able to deploy on-prem. We provide the software. We are a software company. So although we deploy on-premise, usually the partner would provide the hardware and we would go in and deploy our software on their existing infrastructure when it comes to that.
Right, okay, understood. Oops, lost myself. Okay, so and in the case of Jumia, how do customers access this service? Is it through the website or mobile app or?
Yeah, so what we've done is a product reveal. Jumia's CEO actually did the first live order in front of a group of industry enthusiasts, investors, and other fellow entrepreneurs and people within the ecosystem. Within the next couple of weeks, it would be live on Jumia's platforms. So users would be able to directly access it on Jumia's platforms directly. And to just build on this and perhaps go back to your previous question on how do we deploy, we actually do the deployment end to end. So what we do is we define what is the role of 𝗂𝗑. What are you expecting her to do? Then we take on the model fine-tuning, the SLM that is the most relevant when it comes to that. What accent or what dialect is she going to speak in? We build and fine-tune 𝗂𝗑 to handle this specific use case. It's all API based, and we do it via API integration, of course, so that we can scale it. And from then on, the customer enables it on their platform, or they can integrate it with other their own tech ecosystem in order for her to open tickets, for example, initiate orders, accept payments, and so on. So we're working on it on being a very holistic end-to-end delivery of a product, because we do understand that businesses are looking for a one-stop shop. We don't want to be a burden on other tech teams and give them part of the value proposition, where we're very adamant on providing a holistic end-to-end value.
Right, and you mentioned cloud and on-prem a few minutes ago. So what are the options for an enterprise to use Intella and to have 𝗧𝗪, for example? Is that something that I can run 100% on-prem?
Yeah, you can deploy it both on cloud or on-prem. On-prem, you need to have the required GPUs. We also have partners that can help you with supplying those GPUs if they are not in place. When it comes to cloud, we are super flexible. So you are free to pick what cloud would you like us to host 𝗧𝗪 on, whether it's Google, Microsoft, AWS. We are open when it comes to our on-cloud deployment as well. Again, our goal is to make it as frictionless as possible and as easy as possible for us to implement 𝗧𝗪 within large enterprises.
And presumably 𝗧𝗪 speaks another language as well. Does it speak English? Does it speak any other languages?
Yeah, Arabic is her. Even if you look at her, we tried to make her as Arab as possible. We wanted her to represent this part of the world, our region, and our people. So she does speak English, and we would soon be introducing French. But in terms of Arabic, we are tapping into the game of having dialects and sub-dialects. So we're not stopping at the dialect level, because you do have, for example, over 25 dialects, but over 150 sub-dialects of the language. So this is our plan, and this is the direction that we're heading towards, and the reason why we, in fact, raised a $12.5 million round of funding.
Yeah, fantastic. So as this space expands and conversational AI in Arabic gets more popular and more available to large service organizations like banks and telecoms and government public services, this means that there's going to be a lot more transactions that are done through AI voice. So that means there's logically going to be a lot of APIs involved for e-commerce, voice commerce, for ordering, for CRM integration. Where does your platform sit with all of that? What do you integrate with, and how do you do that?
From day one, we were believers of always partnering and collaborating with the ecosystem. There are so many use cases that we can't tap into and cover all as Intella. We've always been laser focused on the voice AI part, and this is what we intend to do. We don't intend on tapping into other spaces just because we see the needs, because we do believe that there are other great startups out there that are equipped to do that. This is why we avail our APIs, and the partner is free to integrate 𝗧𝗪 with a CRM, with a ticketing system, with a payment provider. So this is why we've built it on APIs and to scale from day one, giving the opportunity for an ecosystem to emerge in order to expand the end-to-end use cases of agentic AI in the region.
So obviously we've got a lot of big established technology companies in the region. We have, of course, all the multinationals present in the region, expanding in the region even. And these days we have an increasing number of AI-focused, larger AI-focused organizations developing labs. Why is it that this technology seems to be moving fastest under startups like yours, and yours in particular, and in bringing that to market? Is it a startup thing that actually this new technology needs to be driven by a startup? Yeah,
so this is where I believe in the ecosystem, every player has a different role, right? What we are seeing from the government standpoint is they are focused on building large language models. And it's great because we are yet to have great large language models that cater for the Arabic language. We are not tapping into the LLM game. It's quite the contrary, actually. We're currently in discussion with the biggest players in the region of a collaboration opportunities as we are focused on the application layer. In order for the AI Arabic ecosystem to thrive, you need to have different parties with different roles so that we can advance AI in the Arabic language overall when it comes to that. As for the global players and the large institutions stepping in, being a startup, it has a lot of disadvantages, don't get me wrong, but the advantage of that is you could be very quick to react to market trends, to adoption trends, and you could move very fast and you shoulder a less risk at the end of the day. So we were adamant on keeping this DNA as we grow the team and as we scale, because we're able to shift our product roadmap literally overnight in order to take advantage of a certain new model that was introduced or a certain trend that has emerged. So I don't believe that. I know a lot of people are quite skeptical of would startups be able to sustain against all of the other big players and the largely backed players in the region. I believe that yes, because there's so much to be built, and it depends on what do you choose to double down on and what piece of this very large pie are you looking to dominate and perfect.
Before we talk about any more about the technology, I just wanted to touch on the AI startup ecosystem, since we're talking about startups right now. It's taken a while for investors to start investing significantly in AI and startups in the region. And this year, particularly in the last few months, we've seen quite a few new investments in AI startups and successful raises, including yours, also including the Saudi CXM company Lucidia. And it's actually quite exciting. There's more investment in Arab AI startups in the last year than ever, really. What's your take on where that's going, and what was the barrier, do you think, to connect that money to the startup ecosystem?
Sure. So we've lived it all, right? Omar and I co-founded Intella in 2021, and back then people thought we were crazy. We got rejected by over 100 VCs trying to raise our seed round of funding. They thought we wouldn't stand a chance against big tech. And really in 2021, AI was not a dominant topic. Right now, the supermarket would pitch you AI. Everyone is introducing AI into their pitch decks in one way or another. But back in 2021, we were advised to, as founders, tap into fintech or a marketplace instead so that we can secure funding. And then we slowly started seeing, I'm so glad, by the way, we didn't give up and we kept going. We were forced to bootstrap for a year and a half, but I believe it has been worth it now. We raised our second round of funding in 2023 during the VC winter. Again, AI was starting to make it into the regional scene, but VCs were still skeptical. Is this going to stay? Is this a bubble? Is AI here to last, more or less? So raising that second round of funding wasn't easy. And I've seen firsthand the true shift while fundraising for this round of funding, because not only were we able to attract global investors and one of the largest technology investors and operators globally actually to read Intella's round of funding, but everyone now is interested in having AI in their portfolio. VCs started realizing that, okay, AI is disruptive, AI is innovative, it could be here to stay, there is still a risk associated with it, but the demand for investing in AI has definitely accelerated. And I'm super glad that other companies raised large rounds of funding even before we did, because this gives investor confidence. No one wants to invest in a place where no one is investing. So the fact that more and more AI startups in the region are getting funding is a very promising and optimistic sign for all of the startups that are operating within this space.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely investor confidence is increasing. I think also the number of viable AI startups has also increased. So I think both of those things are helping each other along. And as I said, the last few months has been amazing. And no mistake that a lot of those investment announcements are companies that are focusing on Arabic communications and marketing in the region.
Yeah, I just want to add a point here, Carrington, to your point that the numbers of funding that we see is increasing. However, there's a lot that we don't see, right? We only see the funding news. We don't see the rejections behind that. We only see startups who continue to scale. We don't read a lot about startups who have failed. So I'm a bit wary about that because I try to advocate for a more openness ecosystem. It's a very tough journey. The end user only gets to see the funding news, but behind this funding news are continuous battles. It's an up and down journey. It's extremely taxing for the founders as well to be able to raise funds. Funding is a milestone. Funding is not the end goal. So the funding will not necessarily get you the revenue. You need the traction. You need the market confidence. You need the adoption, and you need for your metrics to all keep going in the right direction. So this piece of the pie is often not something that is made available to the public to speak about. And although we celebrated the funding round and we're very proud of it, we understand that this comes with a huge burden and a huge responsibility. And now we need to double and triple our efforts in order for us to make the most use out of this fund in order to grow and scale Intella.
Yeah, I like your approach because a lot of ecosystems worldwide, I think, have produced a series of startups that are much better at pitching funding than they are at pitching customers. And then, of course, there's a wrong recipe. So now you have your new funding round completed and you have great customers and you have 𝗓𝗏 that you brought to market. And what does that new funding do for you, and what can we expect to see from Intella during this next year or two?
Absolutely. So we raised this funding after we have achieved product market fit with the main goal of scaling and going after very aggressive market share acquisition. We're predominantly using this funding to further fuel our R&D. If you're in AI, if you're not investing in R&D and waiting for the next breakthrough that your team is going to achieve, it won't quietly keep you in the market leader position. So we're investing very heavily in R&D, in new product development, in scaling 𝗓𝗏 and having 𝗓𝗏 integrated with different use cases, different industries. E-commerce, insurance, and customer service are starting points, but we believe that there are so many other applications for us to tap into, and we're also increasing our market presence. So we're growing our teams both in Cairo and in Riyadh, and we're looking to expand and tap into new markets as well. MENA-based, we truly believe in conquering our own backyard first before catering for the global market. I know a lot of VCs and people in the ecosystem love to pitch this global play, but I think what we are missing today is a local play. We need locally built companies to cater for the local ecosystem. After we conquer that, it would be the time to think global. But before the local problems are addressed and resolved, I think it is too late to be talking about a global expansion.
Yeah, interesting point of view. I can't disagree. So obviously more R&D, more expansion. Anything on the product front that you could talk about right now?
Expect to see 𝗧𝗪 doing appearances with large multinational companies as well, global multinational companies. And again, this gives the confidence that global companies are looking into MENA. So our main priority, we have 𝗓𝗓𝗓, which we are also scaling. 𝗓𝗓𝗓 was our product for call centers. We plug in with any call center and we turn every single conversation into actionable business insight, because currently this is a data black box. Call centers today are focused on optimization of efficiency, but not on the intelligence part. This is all very important. It's a gold mine of data that you can and businesses need to start tapping into. So we're working on scaling 𝗓𝗓𝗓, in which we've successfully deployed it with banks, with government entities, with real estate companies, automotive companies. This will continue to scale. And then you have 𝗧𝗪, and then you have 𝗧𝗪 and 𝗓𝗓𝗓 coming together to create a comprehensive ecosystem of AI that would allow companies to fully digitize their user experience.
Thanks. There was some research done in, I think, the UAE a few months ago, or at least released a few months ago, about the and several pieces of research which have come out on conversational AI, on large language model usage and virtual assistant usage, and on chatbots. And my take after reading all this research was that people are obviously heavily engaged in using large language models and virtual assistants every day, and using ChatGPT and Gemini and all of the others, and Copilot. So there's obviously an affinity and a willingness to adopt this new technology. But when you look to the sentiment towards corporate chatbots and customer service conversational AI, it's very, very different. And everybody, almost everybody, feels that they'd rather deal with a person than deal with an AI, conversational AI. How do you see that changing, and do you see it changing?
Very interesting that you mentioned this point, actually, because our take on that is we truly believe that large enterprises are totally skipping the chatbot era right now, and they are delving directly into AI agents and implementing AI agents, because chatbots were made to streamline operations, but they didn't. They resulted in huge frustrations. And me as a user, I don't want to keep hearing, if you want to do this, click 1. So what everyone does is starts clicking 0 or star so that they can get to a human agent. So because it's a very robotic experience that is made to put people into boxes. And we don't believe in this approach. We believe in allowing the user to express themselves in unstructured data format, and what makes them most comfortable. And then this is bringing me back to my point again, it is the job of technology to adapt to human behavior. It's not the other way around. You cannot force people to speak within a specific format in order for them to get their issue resolved. So this is what was driving our building of 𝗧𝗪 from day one. We are there to leapfrog the chatbot era and jump directly into using AI agents in order to do that. And after we launched 𝗧𝗪, actually, I've been on a call with someone yesterday and they couldn't guess if I'm a human or an AI agent. They're like, are you really Noor or are you 𝗧𝗪? Which is quite funny because people are starting to think now that AI could be as fluent as people when delivering and communicating and sending messages across. And this is exactly what we hope to achieve. Having an AI agent that is as fluent, as expressive, and has the capability to listen, reply back, think, and act.
It's gone. I've completely forgotten what I was going to ask you. It was about chatbots, I'm sure. Yes. So I remember a few years ago, Google CEO did a demonstration at the annual Google developers event to demonstrate how people would be able to order and book restaurants using conversational AI. And he did a demonstration where he called I think fake restaurant, but called a restaurant with conversational AI, asked his AI to make a reservation, and the reservation called the restaurant and made the reservation, and got the table of choice and gave the special instructions for the booking and everything else. How far away do you think we are from that lifestyle in the Arab world?
I think very close. I think closer than what everyone is expecting, because we do see this curiosity. We do see very high adoption levels, and we see people wanting to, the average consumer nowadays is very impatient, right? We no longer have the tolerance to wait on hold. We no longer have the tolerance to wait for issues to be resolved. It's a very fast moving market and overall ecosystem to begin with. So the same person who is accessing the latest technology on their smartphone, when they are interacting with their telecom provider or their bank, they are expecting the same agility, speed, customization, and personalization. So I don't see us far off from introducing such use cases. We are currently piloting with some partners a use case that is very similar to the one that you have just spoken about, but we're going to see how the market responds and react to that. We always have the idea of Intella that we build in public, we experiment in public, and then we listen to market signals. So when the market is ready, we double down and we accelerate our R&D. This is why we're always investing in R&D, always coming up with breakthrough ideas, and then we tell the public, okay, here it is. How are you going to use it? We monitor reactions. We see adoption rates. Then if the early signs are promising, we go in from taking this product from beta version to a version that is deployable and a version that can scale. But all of our products so far, we've managed to launch in beta, and unapologetically so, because launching in beta is very important. We can do it in a manner that is fast. We can gather market feedback. We can test out the market signals before we invest heavily into turning this into an actual product.
Yeah, makes sense. We're going to have to round off because we're running out of time, but it's been fantastic. Any closing thoughts or insights you want to leave us with?
I think I've shared most of what I had on my mind during this. Thank you for a very engaging conversation. And if any of the listeners would like to hear more, or they haven't tested 𝗧𝗪 yet and they are curious, they can hear her talking on our LinkedIn page. They can reach out to me directly, or anyone from the Intella's team. We're very big on showing demos and having people interact with the products that we build. So we're more than happy to do so.
Great. And your website is intellaworld.com, right?
Intella.me or Intella.me. It's easier.
Oh, Intella.me, right.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Great. Thanks so much for joining us today. That was really interesting, and love to hear more about Intella and your thoughts on the market. So thank you very much for that. And hope to have you back again one day.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me and for a great episode, and hopefully I'll get to catch you soon.
Great. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Until then. And thank you very much for joining us. This was Thursday Deep Dive, Middle East AI Live, every Thursday at 12 noon KSA, 1 p.m. UAE. And so we'll be back again same time next week. You can always find the details on the Middle East AI News website, www.middleeastainews.com. And I frequently post the details on LinkedIn. And of course, there's a LinkedIn event for you to go to as well for each of these shows. And I'll be announcing the next one very soon. Meantime, if you'd like to subscribe to the weekly news digest on Thursday mornings, and or the daily podcast that goes out 6 a.m. UAE time every day with a roundup of the latest news headlines in AI from around the region, then you can also go to www.middleeastainews.com. So thank you very much, and I hope to see you all again next week. Thanks for joining.